President.
Senator from Nebraska.
I want to thank my colleague from North Dakota, and it is so appropriate, Madam President, that you are in the chair right now presiding, because you are a cattle farmer from the great state of Mississippi, and we have many, many discussions on the importance of livestock, on the importance of agriculture to our states. And Nebraska is an ag state. In 2018, Nebraska generated around $21.3 billion in agricultural cash receipts. Agriculture and ag processing accounts for 9.4% of the state's GDP. The agriculture production complex accounts for approximately 1/4 of our GDP workforce. By these measures, agriculture plays a greater role in my state of Nebraska than it does in the economy of any other state in the United States. So when agriculture suffers, Madam President, Nebraska suffers. And over the last several years, our farmers and ranchers have done their fair share of suffering. As my colleague mentioned, USDA's most recent farm income projections forecast that cash receipts will be at their lowest level in more than a decade. As a rancher, I know it's difficult to plan for the future when you're facing so many factors that are outside your control, whether it's low commodity prices or retaliatory tariffs or natural disasters that we've gone through, and also a global pandemic. Nebraska's farmers and ranchers have maintained their patience in these tough times. But they deserve to know, without any kind of doubt, that amidst all of this unpredictability that they are experiencing, that we here in Congress, that we're going to hold up our end of the bargain. For decades, the Commodity Credit Corporation has been routinely replenished to fund the programs that my friend from North Dakota spoke about, those programs that are so important to the farm safety net. Producers can count on programs like the agriculture risk coverage, price loss coverage, market assistant loans, the important conservation programs, and so much more. For PLC alone, U.S. farmers are expected to receive $4.7 billion in October. Out of that total, Nebraska farmers are anticipating $180 million in program payments. Without that immediate CCC reimbursement, these payments and these programs are going to be significantly delayed, and that will jeopardize the nearly 46,000 farms and ranches in my state of Nebraska. We've seen more than 40 agriculture and commodity groups who have stepped forward and wrote congressional leadership this week with a very, very clear message. Blocking the inclusion of that CCC reimbursement in a CR, it will hurt farmers and ranchers, no question. So we need to come together. We need to come together and fund the programs that we as Republicans and Democrats alike have voted on in countless farm bills. Our farmers and ranchers rely on them, and they rely on them now more than ever. So Congress must keep its commitment to these hardworking men and women. I urge my colleagues in the House and here in the Senate not to allow politics to stand in the way of upholding our commitment to those hardworking men and women who get up every morning and work tirelessly day in and day out to put food on our table. Our producers aren't just thinking of themselves. They are planning for future generations that will proudly carry on their life's work and continue feeding our world. So let's make sure that we continue to fund these programs so that we can ensure that they can do that. Thank you, Madam President, and my thanks to my fellow Ag State colleagues who know the importance of agriculture, not just to the states that we represent, but to this country as a whole. And thank you to my friend from North Dakota for organizing us to come to the floor so that we as a group can stress that importance. Thank you, Madam President.
Madam President.